Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make pork dumplings. I love Asian food. I make it at home a lot. It's a lot of fun. I make my own veggie sushi sometimes, my own stir fry, fried rice. One of my favorites though is dumplings, or I guess you'd call them pot stickers. So let me show you what I got for my ingredients here. I got some sesame oil. This is hoisin sauce. It's a sweet, almost like a barbecue sauce, but it's made out of soybean paste. I'm gonna put a little bit of 5-spice powder, Chinese 5-spice, really pungent and aromatic. I got some low sodium soy sauce. And then for the filling, I have some scallions here. I got some cabbage. It's already shredded. I bought it at the store like that. I got some garlic, some ginger, and I got a pound of ground pork. And then for my tools today, I got my regular chef knife, my Chinese chef knife, and I'm using the microplaner today for my garlic and ginger, which is a great tool to have in the kitchen. I'd strongly recommend, if you don't have one, to get it. I use it for my grated cheese, for all sorts of things. It's definitely a great thing to have. So let's start off. I'll show you how I peel my ginger. So for the ginger, I usually try to find a bigger bulb than this so I can easily trim it and cut it. But sometimes you have these small fingers. I mean, you really can't get in there. And you'll see sometimes on TV they'll peel it with a spoon. I just use my chef knife, and what I'll try to do is try to get myself a nice even piece to work with, and then I'll just start to cut around until I expose just the root. Okay, so this looks pretty good. And you can see here I got all the outer part off. I got a nice chunk there. Now I'll show you how to do the garlic. Alright, so for my garlic, I'm just gonna cut off the stem end. And I really just want to take off the paper. So I'm gonna lightly tap it and just peel that off. And I don't know if I'll use all this. These are some really large garlic cloves. So I'll probably use actually just the ones I have here and not the second one. Okay, so let's start to add the ingredients to our dumpling filling. I'm going to start with the cabbage. It's about a cup or so of cabbage, and they're long strands, so I'm just going to cut it up a little bit. And just a little bit more. And the great thing about these Chinese chef knives is they're easy to scoop stuff up with. So I'm going to add that in. Actually, I think that's probably more than we need. I'll leave a little bit on the side. All right, so for my scallions, I'm going to cut off the ends here. I'll discard those. And I just want to cut them up. Small dice. I'm not going to use the entire length of the green. I'm just going to go about 2/3 of the way up. Alright, so time to add my ginger, and what I'm going to do is just use my microplaner and just start to shred these pieces. And with ginger can be a little bit spicy, so you really want to add to taste. I mean, if it's something that you like a lot, like I do, I'll probably add close to 2 tablespoons or so. And what you see as I shred this, you can see on the bottom here, it starts to build up, and eventually you just scrape it off and tap it into the bowl. So I'm going to shred the rest of these pieces, and then we'll do the garlic. Alright, so my ginger, I got quite a bit in there. Probably about close to 2 tablespoons, which is a lot. If you never use fresh ginger, the aroma is very strong. It smells fantastic, but it can also, like I said, get a little bit spicy. So, and then when you're using these microplaners, just watch your fingers when you get to the end. So I got a decent amount here and a good amount in the bowl. I think I'm just going to stop there, and we'll do the garlic next. Alright, so now I'm on to the garlic. I got my microplaner, and again, same process. I'm just going to run it through like that. And again, really, garlic, some people love it, some people not so much. If you're a garlic freak like my wife and I, you'll want to add at least a couple of nice sized cloves, and that's what I'm going to do here. Alright, so my vegetables are in, and now it's time to add our seasonings. So just a little bit of the 5-spice powder, and again, this is a really pungent. It's got a lot of different spices in it. and it adds a really good flavor. Some of the low sodium soy sauce, and I'm just eyeballing this, but yeah, again, you want to add it to taste. That's probably about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Some of the hoisin, it's about a tablespoon, and a little bit of sesame oil, and just about maybe 2 teaspoons. And that's it. I got my plastic glove here, and I'm just gonna give this a mix so it's all really well incorporated. Almost like we're making a meatball, just an Asian style meatball. Alright, so my pork dumpling filling is really well mixed. And at this point, you can just make the dumplings, but I like to leave them in the fridge overnight. I think that really makes the flavors blend together, and it just makes it a little bit better in my opinion, but that's totally up to you. I'm just going to cover this with plastic, and I'll put it in the fridge. Alright, so my filling for my dumplings is marinated overnight, and you can see that it's actually changed colors. The pork has absorbed all those flavors. The cabbage is broken down, and we're ready to fill our dumplings. And these are just store-bought dumpling wrappers. You can make them at home, but really it's very inexpensive at the Asian grocery. They're $2 for this pack, and probably about 50 of them. So definitely recommend picking them up from your Asian grocery. So I'm going to do 4 at a time here, and I'll show you how we fill them. I got a teaspoon, and I want to put, try to make it like a football shape, just the right amount in each one. You don't want to overfill them or you won't be able to fold it. So I'll put down the pork first, 2, and then 2 more. Okay, and now to close them up, you just take some water on the tip of your finger and go halfway around. You don't want to go all the way around because then it won't stick. You need one side dry so the water can act as a glue and hold it together. Okay, and then what you do is just bring them up to the center and give it a good pinch, and then press with your fingers, go down to the ends and close it off. Try not to get air trapped inside there. Try to keep it nice and tight. And if a little bit squeezes out, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just put it to the side. And then what you can do, if you want to make it look nice and authentic, you just fold over, start on the corner here, and just fold over and press. And then do it again. And we'll make a few pleats here to give it that look that you probably recognize from ordering takeout and you order your pot stickers or your pork dumplings. And there you have it. That's one. Okay, I'll show you one more, and then I'll finish off the rest. So again, just bring it up to the middle, pinch it off, clean off your fingers, and just press. You got to really press it nice and firm. You want to get a good seal. It's a bit like making raviolis. It's just Asian style raviolis. That's really all it is. And again, I'll make some pleats here, and you can notice I'm pressing really hard. I want to get a nice tight seal. So I do about 4 pleats. And there you go. It's dumpling number 2. I'm going to finish off the rest of these, and I'll show you how to cook them. All right, so my dumplings are ready to go. I think I did a pretty good job rolling them up. And I got some leftover wrappers here. These I'll have to wrap in plastic and put in the freezer. They won't last too long in the fridge. So you can make these a couple different ways. You could just boil them. You could steam them. I'm going to cook them in my frying pan. So I got a frying pan here, about a 10-inch with a nice cover. I got a little canola oil and some water. I'm just going to heat this pan up, and I'll show you what I do. All right, my pan is nice and hot. So I'm going to come in here with some canola oil. And I'm going to lower some of my dumplings right in. And you can fit quite a bit in here. I'll probably do it in 2 batches. I'm going to start to fry these a little bit. I want one side to be nice and crispy, and the other side will stay soft from the steam. So let those go a couple minutes and we'll add some water. Alright, so just a couple minutes here and you can see these are nice and brown on the bottom and crispy. And now I'm just going to lower it down. I'm going to add some water. And just I want enough water just to coat the bottom of the pan. And they're going to finish cooking in the steam. I'm going to cover these and it's only going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll flip them over and let them finish cooking and we'll be ready to eat them. Alright, so just been cooking literally 2 minutes and you can see they're already starting to set up. I'm going to flip these over and then what I'll do is, if I think I got too much water, I'll leave the lid off so that the water can evaporate and they'll finish cooking on the other side. And once all the water's gone, they'll pretty much be done. Alright, so these look pretty much done. The water's all evaporated. I'll set these aside and we'll cook the rest of them. Okay, so my dumplings are done and they're ready to try. And just one thing, for my video, I use my induction burner. I don't have a non-stick for the induction top, which always want to use non-stick when you're making these, or they could stick to the bottom of the pan if you're using stainless. So always use non-stick. So take a look. I got about, out of that 1 pound of ground pork, we got about 30 dumplings. And you can see how nice they came out. You see the bottom is nice and crispy. I just got a little bit of soy sauce here. I'm going to give it a dip and try one. Really, really good. These are like potato chips. You can't eat just one and it's really hard to stop. Really, really delicious. The ginger comes through. You got to check this out. It's a lot of fun to make at home. And I hope you like the video. Hey, don't forget, look for me on YouTube, Chris Smith, under the description, DJ Vanna Family Recipes. Thanks for watching the video.